see a pebbly beach.
Okay. What else?
Small pebbles everywhere. Water coming to and from the beach.
What else do you see? Look around you.
Some sandy dunes. Grass up on a hill. There doesn't seem to be anyone else around.
Okay.
I see some white birds.
What color is the ocean?
It's like a whitish blue, like crystal, like glass,
Okay.
with the sun hitting it, making it look like a diamond.
Where are you as the spectator? Where are you standing, or where are you looking at this from, perspective-wise?
I'm not quite on the ground, but I'm not quite all the way up in the sky. I'm fairly close to the ground, floating.
Okay. So if you had a mirror, a spiritual mirror, to see yourself, what do you look like?
Like a sun, but white. Like a glowing orb. There's no shape.
Okay. And how do you feel in that place? How does it make you feel?
Peaceful. Calm.
Okay. And why are you there?
To observe.
What are you observing?
How the water ripples over the rocks.
And what do you do with this information?
Take it back to the source. How things flow. How energy moves.
What planet are you on?
Earth.
Okay. Is there any other information that you need to gather while you're there?
No. I'm just looking at the movement.
Okay.
Nothing else is quite created yet.
Okay. Do you have a connection to anything else around you?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else that's important in this scene that we need to see or know about?
No.
How are you connected to Source? How does Source get the information?
Through energy.
Okay. What does Source do with this information?
Creates.
Do you help Source with doing any other type of activity?
No, just creation. Building.
Creation and building of planet Earth? Or do you help with any other planets?
All the planets.
All the planets? Is it all the planets in our galaxy?
All the planets in all galaxies.
All planets in all galaxies. Is Earth the only planet like itself with humans? Or are there others?
There are others.
Are they third dimension or fourth dimension?
All kinds of dimensions.
Okay.
Some have no water. Most have no water. Water is new.
Okay. So there is no other observation on planet Earth you're doing for Source?
No.
Okay. So the planets that are in our galaxy, do they have any life on them?
No.
Okay.
Only one planet per galaxy may have life.
Only one? Which one is that one?
Earth. But there are other galaxies that have life.
Okay. So why was water created for Earth?
A new source of energy. A new source for life.
Okay. Are there any animals at this time while you were observing the water?
I did see birds. White birds.
Okay. Any other animals?
No, no other animals.
Okay. So where does Source wants you to go now? What's your next assignment?
Zion.
Okay. What is Zion?
It's a dark planet.
In a different galaxy?
Yes.
Okay. And why are you being sent there?
Observe how people or life forms on this planet exist without no light.
And how do they exist with no light?
It's like their planet's made of coal. They have a lot of fire. Their skin is dark. Their eyes are really big. They don't look like earthlings, but they have arms and legs.
Okay. Do they have hair?
No hair.
Okay. Do they have clothing?
No clothing.
Okay. Are they emotional beings? Do they feel?
No.
Okay. Why are they there? What's their purpose?
Their purpose is to harvest material for other planets. Their planet is rich in some kind of coal-like material that creates energy.
Do they eat food? How do they nourish their bodies?
No, they don't need food.
So how do they nourish their bodies?
Something to do with the planet and the energy from the planet.
Okay.
The rocks have energy. They're not free.
Oh, okay.
They're not slaves, but they're not free. They work. That's all they know is work.
Do they sleep?
No, they don't need to.
Do they have homes?
Little huts. But they only use it for rest, but not sleep, like a break. but there's nothing inside, just maybe ground floor. And they sit.
Okay.
They have a sense of community.
How do they procreate?
I don't know if they can.
Then how do they...
I think they're controlled. Their population controlled.
So they never die?
I don't think they get old. But I think they can choose when they can leave to retire. But they have lived for many hundreds of years. They don't know any other life.
Who uses the material that they are mining?
There's another planet in the next galaxy. They use the rocks to make crystals. This planet is a light planet. They're opposite. It's like a glowing planet. The crystal palaces.
Does it have a name?
Xenia.
Xenia?
Yes.
Okay. How do they get the material from Zion?
They have some kind of special craft. There's many of them that go back and forth. It's round. And they go to Zion and they gather the coal, they bring it on board, and it's like housed underneath in an area that's separate from the top where they control the ship.
Okay. What are the people from Xenia look like?
They're white beings with white hair, white robes.
Do they look humanoid or do they have a different body style?
They look humanoid.
Do they have eyes like we do?
They do. They have long, crooked noses. very squared features.
Do they breathe air?
Yes.
So is it oxygen? Is there oxygen in their planet?
Yes.
Do they eat regular food? How do they nourish their bodies?
No, they don't eat. They harness energy from crystals. They have this mountain area where they take the coal and they pressurize it to make crystals. Like clear quartz crystals.
Okay.
They are a bright planet.
How do they reproduce?
They create through a lab. By mixing DNA.
How do they have any animals in their planet?
No, there's no women on this planet either. It is all male.
It's all what?
All male.
All males.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't see any women.
Wow. So what is their purpose? Just to make crystals?
They create crystals and crystal power.
Do their crystals work the same way our crystals work?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like they harvest for creation for other planets. There are many planets that need crystal energy, that need coal energy, that need minerals to function a certain way.
So they are making crystals for other planets.
Yes.
Okay. How do they distribute the crystals to the other planets?
By ship, by their spaceships that they have, they take them. They're told where to take them.
How are they told?
By a council that oversees.
What is the council called?
They have no name.
Okay. What does this council oversee?
The creation and manufacturing of all planets, the balance, everything.
Who sits on this council?
Beings from all over nations, worlds. No earthlings.
Do they meet in a certain place, or they just meet telepathically?
Telepathically.
Okay.
They are close to the source.
Are there other councils that that manage the creation of other things?
No.
Okay. So this council doesn't have a name. It has people from all the different planets, or from all the worlds. Do we get crystals from Xenia? Does planet Earth get crystals from this planet?
Yes.
How are they received?
It's like they hover over a land and they're like a beam of light transferred down into the earth or into the planet.
Who's representing Earth on this council?
No one. Earth is new.
So how do they know we need crystals?
Crystals help with energy. It's like they know that the earth needs assistance in keeping the energy fields a certain way.
Okay. So it's just knowledge that they have.
Yes. It's like a way to protect the earth from the human destruction, finding balance without interference.
Okay.
It's a way they protect the earth. Other planets are evolved. They know how to harness the energy for good. Earth is one of a kind. Earthlings are not like other planetary beings.
How are they different?
They have free will, choice, emotions.
But I thought free will was a natural law for all over the universe. Is that not the case?
Free will is not the natural law for all over the universe because other beings don't hate and don't love. They're not negative and positive feelings. They are connected more to source. they have a higher consciousness. They are all-knowing.
Okay. Are the Agarthans using this crystal? Do they know that the crystal is being delivered?
Yes.
Do they use it for anything?
Just to energize their planet, energize themselves. They're an energy source for other planets.
Are there crystals being delivered to the other planets in this galaxy?
Yes.
And it's being used for energy?
Yes.
So is Angela part of that council of creation and manufacturing of all the planets?
Not the council, no.
How does she have a connection to the creation of planet Earth?
Gather information, ideas, observation. By knowing other planets and what they're like, and taking bits and pieces from all over and creating something new.
Are humans using crystals correctly? Is there...
No.
Okay. How do we change that? How do we teach them how to use them correctly?
They're not ready to use them correctly.
Okay.
There are machines that are made and created that use them for their purpose. They can move objects. They can sustain life. They can protect and shield. They can travel through dimensions. Space. But without the knowledge of how to do that, it won't happen to Earth anytime soon.
Okay. So if I offered to scribe how these crystals could be used, would that be something that is possible, or is just information that we cannot give the planet at this time?
Not information that can be given.
Okay.
I don't make the machines. There's other planets that make the machines.
When you say they make the machines, what does that mean? It's the crystal itself is a machine, or they use the crystal for a machine?
They use the crystal for a machine.
Okay.
From a material that is not found on Earth.
Okay.
It is a metal that is not known to man.
What are they doing with these machines? Like what do the machines do?
They do all kinds of things with the crystals. They can move things, heavy things. They can build. They can protect with energy shields. There's all kinds of things they do with these crystals and machines.
So if I were to use a crystal for shielding my home, what crystal would I use and how would I make it work in that manner?
What I'm talking about is like a physical shield that would be around a planet, so that if there is an asteroid or a meteor or any kind of outer space material coming towards that planet, they will be protected like a shield.
Got it.
So the meteor will not penetrate through that barrier.
So does the size of the crystal matter?
No.
Okay. Does putting intention on the crystal change it?
No. Doesn't change it. The crystals are energy. They give off energy.
Okay. So is Xenia the only planet that harvests crystals?
No, there are different kinds from different planets.
Okay.
There are crystals that are soft and can be turned into powder. There are different colors. Different chemical structures.
Okay. Are the inhabitants of the other planets that create crystals the same as in Xenia? All male?
No. Some are animalistic, if you will. Some are not what we, they're different. I don't know how to describe. They're not human, maybe insect-like.
But they harvest the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
How do they do that without hands and feet?
Their mind.
Ah, okay.
With their bodies. Depends on the planet, depends on the species.
So were they created by source, or did they come to be by their own accord? So, well, everything's created by source, but you know, where they volunteered to say, okay, I volunteer to go to this planet and create crystals.
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
think all of them are voluntary.
Okay.
I think some of them have been on their planet from the beginning of time, when they were made and created. I think most of them, it's the only thing they know.
Okay. And they also don't have free will.
No.
Okay. Do any of the other races, alien races, abuse any of these planets? Planets that manufacture things?
I wouldn't say abuse, no. There are warrior planets, but they don't travel too much. No abuse.
Okay.
They have an understanding.
Can they take as much as they want? Can people take as much as they want from these planets?
No, they have to let the planets rest. They don't want to take too much. Give the planet time to create and grow.
So is the crystal created once they take the crystals from, the coal from Zion and take it to Xenia? How do they create the crystals?
Pressure. It's some kind of a machine or mountain that has some kind of pressurized, I don't know.
Okay. So there's a machine that actually creates them.
Yes. It transforms the material into something new.
Okay. I wonder why that can't be done with their mind instead of having it to do physically.
I do not know.
Okay. And does Angela have any connection to any of these planets? Other than just being an observer?
No.
No. So where else does Source wants us to go today?
We can go back to Earth. There's still so much to learn.
What else is there to learn from Earth?
How everything works with humans and animals and nature.
How does that all work?
Everyone is individual with individual ideas, emotions, thought. The human race is still very complex.
Is it the most complex race in the universe?
Yes.
Why is that?
The structure of human beings was an experiment to create new race. They were given different genetic codes, different rules of the way they live.
Who were the first humans?
Who were the first humans?
Mm-hmm.
First humans were small, hairless,
Were they created elsewhere and brought here?
no, they were created here.
Who created them here?
Other planets that have that knowledge.
Are those planets in this galaxy?
No, far away.
Okay. Why did they decide to create us?
The universe is always expanding and new planets are in development as we speak. There's always creation.
So the first humans were small and hairless, and were there animals when they were here?
Yes, they were created first.
So how did these humans know to eat the animals and the plants? Was it by instinct, or they were shown?
They didn't eat animals at first. They ate plants.
Okay.
That race of humans did not last long.
Why?
Something wrong with the DNA and the Earth atmosphere.
And how long ago was that?
How long ago?
Yes.
Millions of years ago? Billions? I could not say.
Okay. What happened to the second type of humans?
They were created a little differently.
With different DNA?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were they were they were like fish-like, amphibious-like, but humanoid.
Is that where mermaids come from?
The legend, yes.
So that was during this time that they lived?
Yes.
Okay. So were there any land-locked humans, or they were only amphibian where they use water?
They could be both water and land.
Okay.
They preferred the water, so new humans had to be made. They were too I don't know, ocean loving.
Found. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't care for the earth.
No.
And how did they eat?
Other fish.
Other fish? Okay.
think that's where the introduction of eating flesh came from.
Okay.
Eating fish.
Would they eat plants on land or no?
They did, but once they started eating fish, they didn't eat many plants.
Ah, okay. Did they cohabitate or talk to or play with the landlocked animals? Was
No.
there any connection? No.
No.
Okay. So then, how were they killed? How were they finished off, or how did they disappear from the earth?
They could not reproduce.
Oh, okay. Is that also where, so these amphibians, what do they look like other than mermaids and mermen? What else did they look like?
They had gills on their necks, fins on their arms.
So they look like a human, but with like...
They had webbed feet and hands. Yes. They had legs. So they can walk on land and swim in the ocean. They had slimy skin. Almost like that of an eel.
Okay. And so they disappeared because they couldn't reproduce. So then a third wave of
Yes.
beings were created.
Yes.
What are these beings like?
They were more human-like, with hair. Maybe a little ape-like.
Were they covered in hair?
They had hair on their backs and chests and legs. Yeah, they weren't fur-like animals, but they had hair.
Okay.
They were flesh eaters. They started eating more of the animals.
When did the dinosaurs come into the picture? Were they here when the first humans came?
Dinosaurs were created before humans.
They never coexisted?
For a short time, they weren't meant to coexist together.
So when they were together for a short time, was that the first humans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened to the earth for the dinosaurs to disappear?
There's a great freeze. Ice covered the land.
Was that done on purpose? So that the dinosaurs would die and humans could live?
Yes, the humans could stand the cold more than the dinosaurs.
Okay. So the third human you said was ape-like flesh eaters.
Mm-hmm.
How did they they could procreate?
Yes.
Okay. And are they the current human?
No.
What happened to them?
They were savage, killing each other. New humans were also introduced, and they were at war with each other, and they were wiped out.
Okay. And the fourth generation of humans then lived?
Yes.
What were these fourth generation humans like?
More like humans today. Shorter, less hair.
So there's a change in DNA every time a new human comes in?
Yes.
Okay. And that change in DNA is being done by the race that created Earth, that created the humans on Earth.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened to these fourth generation of humans?
They grew in population. They roamed the earth, split off in different groups, tribes. They fought, conquered over and over again many times.
You mean like the Romans? Are the Romans falling in this category?
Much later on, but yes.
So, but they were like the Romans then?
They
Maybe like
were
Vikings?
like the ancient Egyptians.
Oh, okay. Ancient Egyptians. Okay. Okay. What happened to the Egyptians?
Nothing happened to them. They're still here.
They're still here. Okay. So the DNA of these Egyptians that go back all the way to these Egyptians, is their DNA different than our DNA?
Yes.
How so?
Yeah, it's complicated. It's like you take a seed from one plant and you combine it with another plant, and then that plant becomes something new. When one human mates with another human, their genetic code is different, creating something new. Over time, the structures change. It's a science I don't understand.
Okay. So what happened after the ancient Egyptians? What was their purpose? Were they given a purpose?
No. They were creating new civilization.
Okay.
I guess that was their purpose. To create government, civilization.
But they did have a need to enslave people as well.
Yes.
Was that supposed to happen?
No. But outside planets cannot interfere with the creation. They're watching. The only interference is the helping of creating the humans and the planet Earth. What the humans do, they're watching, observing.
Okay. Were the ancient Egyptians being controlled or by other alien races? Or manipulated?
No,
No?
they were not being manipulated. They were being guided with knowledge.
Okay.
They were given gifts of knowledge. And what they did with it was their doing.
Okay.
They were not told
What to do with it?
what to do with it.
So you said that there is a different, so after the Egyptians, that there's a different type of human that was introduced?
There were many, they introduced many more species of different colors, different hair color, skin color.
But the first humans as we know them today, or the Egyptians then? Before the hairless, the hair ape-like.
Not necessarily Egyptian, just like the Egyptians.
When did the giants come into the picture?
Giants. I don't know of any giants.
Okay. Because they have found bones of humans that were very, 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 very tall. And they have found thrones and all that kind of stuff of really tall humans. So
I think they were not humans. They were of other worlds, here to help guide.
gotcha. Okay.
Not necessarily a race of human beings.
Okay. So then after the Egyptians, then they introduced species of different types of hair. So how is that introduction done? How do they literally drop somebody with blue eyes and blonde hair? They just, out of the blue, they appear in a different side of the world? How is that introduced? They come in a spaceship, or how does that begin?
Yes, they came from a spaceship. They were created inside of a lab. They were brought to the earth in a place that was not near other areas. They weren't just left there. They were awakened because they weren't born like a human is born.
Right.
They were awakened from a pod, and they would help them learn how to walk, communicate.
Who taught them?
The others that brought them here.
Who are the others? The Arcturians? The Pleiadians?
The Pleiadians. Pleiadians.
Not the same as the Pleiadians?
I think I don't. The Pleiadians may be the same.
Okay.
And so they would teach them. And they would stay for a while, but then they became trapped by being worshipped by like gods.
Oh, is this where Greek mythology comes in?
Yes, and Egyptian mythology, all of it.
So the Pleiadians were the Greek gods.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So then they were earthbound. They stayed earthbound.
Yes.
They never left.
No.
How did they die if they were gods? Because they were made of the flesh, I guess?
No, they lived for a couple of 100 years. They got tired.
Okay.
And they just chose to die off.
Okay. So what happened next in the evolution of Earth? And did they add more species? They continue to add more species?
No, many of them died off.
Okay.
Nothing new.
So where does Lemuria and Atlantis fall here?
In that time period, early human generation, they were evolved with all the knowledge, but they abused it, and they were destroyed.
Were they before the Egyptians or after the Egyptians?
All during the same time.
During the same time? Were they, those were one of the seeded introduction species?
Yes.
What did they look like?
The Atlanteans and Lemurians were interbred with the Pleiadians, they were not completely human. So they had all the knowledge that they were given and shown, and they used it for all the wrong reasons.
So the Greek gods of mythology then were not really from Greece, they are from Atlantis and Lemuria.
Yes.
So, okay, now it makes sense. So who caused the Great Flood that almost killed every single Lemurian and Atlantean?
All the humans. There was much war and chaos and destruction and greed, and they were doing things with DNA they weren't supposed to do.
So who created the flood or the tsunami or whatever? Was it Source, or was it the people that created us, or?
Source authorized it. The council carried it out.
Whose idea was it?
The council. But not everything was wiped out. There were some that remained.
Yes. And those that remained, where did they go? What happened to them?
They fled to higher lands, and they were scared. I think they knew that they had to change.
Some of them were given a heads up. Some of them were told it was going to happen, right?
Yes.
Okay. And where did they migrate to on Earth?
Different mountain regions. The continents broke off. They were up by I want to say where Russia is in that area, and they migrated into North America and South America. And then as they grew, there were just different regions from the Middle East, Asia, and they spread out.
Okay. Has anything else happened since that time to Earth? Anything big like that? Or is that the only time that Earth was flooded?
No, Earth was flooded 3 times.
Okay.
But since then, no, just
When were the other 2 times that it was flooded?
before that.
Okay. Why was it flooded again? Why was it flooded before the first time?
Same reasons. It was all the same.
Greedy humans?
Yes. But it wasn't quite as large. It was smaller. That was the largest one, the third one.
Which one was the one that Noah created the ark?
The third one.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah.
Okay. So was Noah in Lemuria or Atlantis? Is that where he got the information?
No, he was near but not there. He was somewhere in near Egypt.
But he also got the message that a great big flood would come.
Yes.
Did that flood affect, other than obviously Atlantis and Lemuria, did it affect Egypt or any other? Did it kill people in other places?
Yeah, many places. It was mostly in the Mediterranean area, Africa area, and into the Atlantic Ocean. The Pacific side wasn't really as bad. Near the polar ends wasn't bad either.
So there are these ruins in Africa that are circles that are representative of Gaia's sound waves. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
They were created to dig for gold, for other species, other aliens to dig for gold in South Africa. They are these circular monuments or structures that there's thousands of them in Africa. There's also pyramids in Africa as well. So I was wondering if the flood was what covered those structures there.
Yes, but the pyramids are not completely flooded.
Okay.
About halfway.
Okay. So were these structures used for something?
Yes. Energy.
Energy. Okay.
Yes, the pyramids are energy sources. They're not tombs.
Right. Right. And what was the energy used for?
For building.
Okay.
Building the temples. They're also used to harvest energy from the sun and the moon. And yes, they did use crystal energy too.
They were taught how to use the energy of the crystals.
They weren't taught, no, that knowledge wasn't given to them. They had access to these areas, but they didn't know how it worked. Only the people that were the beings that came from the other planets that had that knowledge, that became earthbound, had access.
Okay.
Humans were not trusted yet with that knowledge.
Will they ever be?
In the new earth, yes. Far into the future.
Okay. So, are you showing me in being able to provide me this information because Angela doesn't have any past lives? Is there a reason we weren't shown any past lives?
No, no past lives.
This is her first incarnation?
Her first incarnation as a human.
So this is her first incarnation as a human.
Yes.
Okay. So where did she come from? That she doesn't feel this is her home. What's her home?
miss the source.
Okay.
It's like she's a helper for the source.
So did she volunteer to come help? Is that why she's here?
Yes.
How is she supposed to help?
Observing around her.
Okay.
Just to be here.
Why did she choose such a hard life with abuse?
I don't think that the abuse was predicted.
Okay, so it wasn't a lesson she came here to learn.
No.
Did she choose her parents?
No.
Who chose her parents?
The source. She didn't care to choose.
Okay. Will this be her last incarnation on Earth?
Yes.
Okay. And why is that?
It is not who she is.
Okay. Can you tell me what her connection is to Chris Brady?
He is the same.
They're the same soul?
He is what she is.
Oh, a piece of source
Yes.
that came to help on Earth?
Yes.
So she knows him from that.
Yes.
That's their connection.
Yes.
So how can she cut that connection? How can it be broken?
Cannot be broken.
Okay. Then if she cannot break it, how can she forgive or release Chris? She wants to stop obsessing and thinking about him.
She needs to wake up, not see this earth and him as this life. Her life and what she is not of this world. They're only here to help shift.
Okay, but he is he's a little bit of he'll say things to her that are not very nice. So is she supposed to still stay with him, or they're supposed to coexist separately?
They were supposed to coexist together, but the abuse was not foreseen.
So can she break that contract? Can she at least not live with him?
They can break the earth contract, yes.
Okay, because she asked me if she could please do that. Can you do that right now?
Yes.
Okay. So you are ripping up the contract that she has with Chris on this lifetime.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, is there any possibility that the abuse can stop so that they can be together, or no?
He has to make his choice.
Okay.
As humans, we have a choice that we can make for ourselves. She can't make that choice for him.
Can you help her forgive him
Yes.
so she can let go?
Yes.
So what is the lesson that she has to learn from being with him?
No lesson, there's no karmic connection.
How can she resolve her feelings towards Chris so that she's not always wanting to be with him? How can she let go of him?
It's a human emotion. She has to break that human emotion.
Okay.
Understanding that when their time is up on earth, they will be restored to what their original selves are.
Okay. Helpers of source.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to help her forgive him. Is there a twin flame, a true love relationship that she's meant to have in this lifetime?
No. Only Chris, but circumstances changed, not as planned.
Okay. With that said, will she still be able to be or find someone to be with in the future, even if it's not a twin flame?
Not necessary.
Not necessary. Okay.
No.
Okay. Why is she so tired all the time?
The energy of the world drains her.
Okay. So how can she stop that?
By reconnecting to Source.
How can she do that?
Through meditation.
But she says she has problems meditating.
She's having problems adjusting to human life.
Okay. So how do we help her with that?
Remind her of who she is, where she came from. Separate her from the human.
Who can she call out to help her? I mean, does she have spirit guides or source, or who does she call out for help for that?
Source.
Directly to source?
Yes.
And who are we speaking to right now?
Herself, higher self.
Okay. Why is she depressed?
She does not like the humans.
Okay.
She doesn't understand them. She comes from journeying and seeing other planets working in harmony. Humans are not in harmony. But the earth is shifting, and she's here to help with that transition.
How can she help more than what she is now? Is there anything she needs to do, or just by being here she's helping?
Just by being here.
Okay. So how do we help her with her depression and her anxiety?
Connecting her to Source.
So am I correct in I've always thought that anxiety is the reason for anxiety is because we've lost our connection to source.
Yes.
That should be what the actual to me, that's what anxiety should be termed as. It's when you're not connected to source, anxiety is what happens.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like when she was born, that connection was disabled.
Okay.
And of course, on top of it, the abuse took her away.
The abuse definitely took her away from the connection, right?
Yes.
Even further.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so her purpose is to be here, and she feels there is something important that she's supposed to do.
Being here.
Okay, so being here, is that it? She wants to know if her dream of owning a business will happen.
No.
Okay. And that is because
she is not earthbound. It's not her purpose.
Okay. She's been told she has psychic abilities. How can she develop them or open up her third eye?
Reconnecting to source will help.
What are her psychic abilities?
She's able to connect through thought.
Okay. And she's able to know how to use it or how to turn it on?
Yes.
Okay. Would taking a training class help her? Or it's just basically connecting to source, that will be the only way?
Connecting to source.
Okay. Can she learn to harness crystal energy?
No. It's not her purpose.
Okay. She wants to release all negative thoughts and fears.
This can be done.
It's done?
This can be done, yes.
Okay. And how does she do that?
Remembering who she is.
Okay. Will she be able to shift to the new earth?
Not her purpose.
Okay. She's an overthinker. Is there a way to quiet her mind?
Yes. Practice.
Practice.
Meditation and connecting to source.
How can she learn to control her mind and harness the power of her mind so she can manifest a better reality?
Remembering who she is, knowing her purpose, practicing her meditation to connect back to source.
Because of her purpose, is she still able to manifest bigger things for herself? Whatever she is that she wants to manifest, is she able to do so with her current purpose?
No, her purpose is to be here.
Okay. How can she create a positive environment?
By being who she is. The light. That is from source. Connecting with herself.
Is she supposed to do anything with people as far as her purpose?
She can be a healer, work in a healing environment.
So she could possibly heal the people that she's doing massages, right, too?
Yes.
So how can she do that? How can she add the healing piece to it?
When she connects to herself and the source, it'll flow through her.
And it'll go wherever it needs to go.
Yes.
She doesn't need to know where it needs to go, right?
No.
Okay. How can she release all karmic bonds and find peace and love and let go?
Forgiveness in this life. But there are no karmic bonds.
Okay.
But needs to be careful not to create karmic bonds.
How would she do that? What would make that happen or be the case?
Knowing her true purpose, not hurting others. She's here to help others.
Okay. She mentioned she has glaucoma, or she thinks she has glaucoma. Does she have glaucoma?
No.
So what's happening with her eyes?
Her eyes are having some kind of pressure issue, but it's not glaucoma.
What's causing the pressure in her eyes?
I think it's the atmosphere.
So there's no way we can help that we can heal that some way?
We can adjust the eye pressure.
Can you do that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Is that something you can heal right now, or it will take time?
We can heal right now.
Thank you. How are you healing that?
By making her eyes a little smaller.
Okay.
And relieving some of the pressure on the inside, the fluid.
Okay. She wants to see into the fifth dimension. How can she achieve that?
By knowing herself and connecting to Source. And practice.
Okay. She also mentioned about genital herpes that she contracted from her ex-husband. Can we heal that right now, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me know when you're done.
It's done.
Thank you. She has a recurring dream where she's in a spaceship that's like an orb and going through portals that include cat people. Can you give us more detail on that dream?
Yes. It's one of the transportation ships on another planet. Cat people do not like when she visits. They don't like outsiders. So when they saw her, they were chasing her through different times, dimensions. But she's safe. They will not harm her.
And why was she there? Why was she visiting them?
Observing and learning to bring back to source.
Okay.
Source uses information from all the planets to create new planets.
Okay. Where did source come from?
Source has always been there.
Always been there.
It is unknown.
Yeah, exactly. What does she do in her dreams? It sounds like she's astral traveling, or well, it sounds like she's doing work when she's dreaming. What is she doing when she's dreaming?
She's connecting to other souls that she yearns to be with, that she is like, they are like her. She likes being around them. In the dreams, it's a safe place, and she can connect with those beings because they're too far away. In the human life,
Okay. So she goes and visits them in her dreams.
yes,
Where are they? Where are these spirits that she visits?
where are they? In another dimension.
But it's not a specific place.
No,
Okay. And where, oh, I forgot what I was going to ask you. She had a miscarriage. Is that because of the idea that she doesn't want to create karma? What happened? Why did the miscarriage happen?
the stress from the relationship. She was meant to have a child with Chris that would be a starling, starseed.
Okay.
But the stress was not able to happen.
Okay. Is there anything else that she needs to know at this time?
Know that she is loved by Source and that everything will be okay.
Does she have any other, I don't want to call them incarnations, but does she have any other, is her soul just a helper, and a helper of Source and this human, and that's it? There's no other fractals or other things that she's doing as a separate being of Source?
I don't think there are too many fractal beings. I think just a helper to Source, mainly. Observing and learning and teaching and gathering.
So how can we help humans shift into this new earth? Can they shift to the new earth, or they have to die and be born there?
No, some will shift. Some will die and be born there. Not many will shift. Very few.
Okay. I would imagine there are people that are already in the fourth or fifth dimension on Earth.
Yes. Fourth dimension. Mostly. There are very few in the fifth dimension.
Was Jesus in the fifth dimension?
Yes.
Is there anyone else or anybody in this world right now that is in the fifth dimension that you're able to tell me?
There are a couple. I don't know who they are.
So is Angela being a watcher for Source now at the same time that she's being a human on Earth?
Yes.
So that is always ongoing?
Yes.
Okay. Does she ever see that in her dreams? Or no?
She sees the planets that she's visited. You see Source every now and then, but not very often. Just the other planets, the other beings. And then her connection with the others that are like her in her dreams.
Okay. So can we visit Source right now? Can she visit Source right now so that she can remember what that feels like and have that connection as Angela after she leaves today?
Yes.
Can you do that now, please?
Yes.
Let me know when you're done.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.